So when you're first learning technical trading, what a lot of traders really should be focusing on is how to identify reliable trends in the market. Because if you can become good at doing that, you can have some pretty solid results like I did this past week. Now remember, I can't guarantee that these strategies or setups in this video will work for any of you because everyone has different trading personalities. All I know is that I had some pretty effective results using my scalping system this past week, and so make sure to stick around to the very end of this video because through this video, we're going into detail about the really nuanced but effective strategies that I use to hit these results. Let's take a look at them now. Okay, so one of the first things I wanted to go over in today's video is how to identify when reliable range breaks happen. And the way you really do that is you have to identify a reliable range first. And so you can look for a range here, and in this example on ATHE, we have a stock that's maintaining in a specific direction underneath the VWAP. So you can see when it pulls back to that purple line and tries to bounce over it, it gets rejected, thus confirming the range. We also have it acting as resistance at this previous closing price at 215, right around that opening range high. Again, that's it confirming the specific range it's in. And so we can look and target that range now and wait for that range to break. Because when it breaks, you have some people looking at the VWAP break and wanting to buy the pullback. You have other people looking for the break of that previous closing price, which is a red to green move, and they want to buy the pullback after that as well. So you have a lot of traders that are targeting that sentiment change from the range break at the opening bell. And so you can see when ATHE actually broke over that range and the range broke and it continued, a lot of people were buying this pullback, and you can see that confirmed with the volume that showed up on the pullback there. You can see once we got into this trade on ATHE at the pullback to the VWAP, but not just the VWAP, the pullback to the previous closing price and the pullback to that previous resistance level, that's where we're targeting the bounce, and it works really well. So if you could identify a specific range and then attack the range break with a pullback, testing it, it could be a really profitable setup if you can be effective at identifying that specific range. And so you can see once we got that really big technical catalyst, the break of the VWAP, we had a really nice upward trend that was really obvious on this chart. And so if we're in this range that you can see here, we can essentially target small pullbacks, and they would work a large majority of the time here. You can even look at this one as an example. This is another trade I got into last week. When we got this big push up, this big volume spike, this big candle here testing that previous high of the day, I'm targeting small micro pullbacks and then scalping out. And so when we move up to test that high and then we pull back to that previously confirmed support or resistance area right here, I'm targeting that bounce. And again, this works a large majority of the time if you can find stocks maintaining specific trends, if that makes sense. Okay, so another example from this past week that I think can be really educational for traders is BLIN. You can see the first thing you really want to train your eye to do within these type of technical systems is find and identify specific ranges. Here on BLIN, we can see a really obvious range between $6 and $7, and that's the range we're going to look to attack. We also have something really nice in that it was actually respecting the VWAP area. You can see we're maintaining in the range, we're at the bottom of the range, but when we bounced back up to the VWAP to test it, the VWAP actually rejected it and pushed it back down. That tells us that other traders involved with BLIN are using the VWAP in their trading, and so we can wait for that VWAP reclaim. We can wait for the stock to push back over the VWAP and then target this upper side of the range here. And so you target the specific range, you wait for the VWAP to reclaim, you wait for the stock to pull back, and that's where you're looking to buy into it, right around the VWAP area, simply attacking this upper side of the range here. This upper half of the range makes a lot of sense to attack because we're getting that sentiment change that we talked about in the previous example. We're getting a stock that's respecting the VWAP, that's actually breaking back over the VWAP level, that's also maintaining a specific range. And so we can bet and assume that the stock is going to bounce here at the VWAP and that we can target this upper side of the range, getting out right around $7 and moving on with our day. Other traders can also target simply the range break here. They can wait for $7 to break and then buy the pullback here. And either way you want to go, it's not really a right or wrong situation. It's purely a subjective one, and I think both of those trade ideas make a lot of sense. Okay, so now that we've gone over a few different examples, let's reinforce what we're actually doing with this type of system. We're either identifying a specific range or a specific trend, and then we're attacking that trend or range in many different ways. For OPTT here, for our next example, you can see that we're maintaining a really nice upward trend. And there's a lot of signs that this one's maintaining a solid trend. It's holding over previous high of the day levels. You can see a previous high here that once we broke, we actually held over. You can see another previous high of the day here that once we broke, we actually held over. And those are usually pretty good signs that a stock is maintaining a specific direction or a specific trend. And obviously, you can see we're also maintaining over the VWAP level. We maintain over this level, we're maintaining over previous highs of the day, and that's when we start to target different trends here. And so with OPTT, once we're maintaining a trend and we've identified that in a specific stock, we then start to look for favorable pullbacks to get involved with here. Now with OPTT, you can see it moved up to that $3 level, testing the previous high of the day, but it didn't break it. And that's fine for us because you could see some previous support underneath us that we can target a pullback to. And not only is this previous support or resistance, but it's also right around that VWAP level that we always talk about. And so once we break over that, test the previous highs of the day, and kind of maintain in that trend or range, we're looking to attack the trend or range by buying the pullback and assuming or anticipating that we're going to get a bounce here. So we buy the pullback right around the VWAP, right around that previous resistance up there, and then we're looking to just take profit around the top of this range. If we break the range and continue, great, I can scale out of it and then hold a small position in case it continues to push up. But even if we reject here like this, we're taking profit right around the top of that range to protect ourselves in the trade. And so if we take enough profit and don't get greedy, this can be a really powerful setup because you're always going to find stocks that are maintaining specific trends, just like OPTT here. The problem is not getting greedy, and it's something that you just have to condition yourself not to do. Okay, so for my last example here on ASTS, it's a really good example of what we look for in identifying a specific trend. And so you can see a stock, just like the last one, that was maintaining in a sideways or neutral trend. And once we get that sparking catalyst, once we get that really big break over the VWAP and volume comes in, that's when we decide to start attacking a specific trend. Again, a lot of the time we're just targeting small pullbacks after this big break, but anywhere within this range right here, that's where we're going to target small pullbacks and bounces. This works really, really well if the volume is higher because that's when you're going to have the most traders actually attacking a specific stock and trend, helping to kind of prop the stock up, buying it on the pullbacks just like you, so forth and so on. And so if you can be patient and selective and wait for good opportunities like this, where you have an obvious sentiment change that other traders see as well, those are usually going to be the most effective times to target a trend or a pullback as well as a range. And so I hope all of that makes sense, and it really is something that you got to condition yourself to follow. You have to condition yourself to see, and that all takes time and experience. And so yeah, guys, I hope you learned a little bit from this video. Remember, the overarching point I'm trying to make here is that you want to condition yourself to spot these type of trends in the market. Whether you're day trading, swing trading, or investing, spotting these reliable trends will help you have better results in your trading, and it's a big focus that you need to have if you're trying to learn technical trading in general. As always, guys, if you want to help support our completely free trading content, just like this video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button below, and let us know in the comments section any topics or content you want to see us make. Good luck in the market, guys. Remember, trading in general can be very, very risky. This is for purely entertainment purposes only. Good luck, and we'll see you guys next time. Have a good day, team.